Hey guys, Stay Patient here. Now yesterday I put up a video guide for the Diamond Age trophy in No Man's Sky, which refers to sort of making a lot of money, and I showed you very briefly a technique that works really well for me when trying to make money. So I thought today I'd do a bit more of a detailed video on how to use the trading system in the game to make a lot of profit. The great thing about this method of making cash is that you do it entirely within the space stations. You don't need to go to a planet, which means that you don't need to have resources on you, because when you're in the space station, your suit levels, such as your hazard protection and your life support, stay stable. They don't drop. And also you're not going to be using a weapon, so you've got nothing that you need to recharge. You don't need to keep certain materials on you or resources on you to be able to recharge your suit and your weapon, because you're not using them. So you can free up all of your slots. I've only got a few here because I haven't started upgrading my suit, but 9 is more than enough, and I'm going to show you how we go about taking advantage of this trading system in the game. So we're going to go to the trading terminal, and this may not work at every star system, but it's something that when you find a star system in which it's going to be efficient, then it's worth staying there for a while and building up your cash. So we'll come to the terminal here, and what we're going to want to do is find out which items they are offering to buy for a particularly high amount. So if we go to the sell items from your inventories section here, and you'll notice that each of them has either a plus green number or a negative red number as a percentage compared to the galactic average. Now what that refers to is how much or how valuable they view the item, or how much they buy it for and sell it for, compared to the average price across the galaxy. So some of these will be low figures, plus 4%, which means it's valuable to them. So it would cost us a lot to buy from them, or it would cost us slightly more than the galactic average if we wanted to buy some shielding sheets from them. But it also means that if we're selling shielding sheets to them, they're going to pay us more. Now the 4% and all these smaller figures, they don't really make much of a difference. That's not worth trading, just with these slight increase in prices. But some of them you'll notice have got stars next to them. And each trader will have some items that they really value extremely highly. So in this case we've got the dynamic resonator, which is plus 103%. So if we were trying to buy these off this particular terminal, it would cost us more than double the usual price. But it also means we can sell it to them for double the price, which is awesome. So we're going to scroll through and we're going to take a mental note, or maybe even write down which items they value highly, and in other words, which ones have got the stars next to them, and also try and remember what the rough price is as well. So the dynamic resonator is 55,000 roughly. That's what they're buying it off of us for. The Geknip is another one. That's 41,000. So that's 102% extra that they're offering. And then we've got the sac venom here. That's 50,000. So that's that's quite a decent price, along with the dynamic resonator, and that's plus 93%. So those are the three items that are sort of double the usual price. So what we want to do is try and get some of those items and sell it to them. And of course, because they're offering double the usual price, we can buy it for roughly half that price and almost double our money, depending on the price that we pay for them. And each of these ships that come into the space station here, I just lost some life, silly me. Each of these ships is going to have their own sort of trading inventory. So if we hold square near one of the ships, what we want to do is look through their stock and see if they're selling any of the items that the terminal is offering us a high price for, because we're going to buy them and sell them straight back to the space station, because all of these traders, they have a different economy. They value things differently to the terminal that we were just at, and every trader is the same. So you can buy items from a trader that doesn't value it particularly highly and then sell them to a trader that does, and it works out great. Now of course you could buy things from one ship and sell them to another ship, but these ships don't stay here very long. They'll fly off after a few seconds or a couple of minutes, and so it's not really a consistent way of making money. It's not a reliable way of trading. So that's the reason we want to use the actual terminal in the space station, because that's always going to be there, and the items they value are always going to be the same. So we're going to come here, and you've probably noticed already that this guy's got the dynamic resonator. So we are going to buy both of these. First of all, obviously it's worth making sure that he's not charging double the price. Now this one is charging 33,000 and we're going to sell them for 55,000, so it's just over 20,000 that we're going to make in profit. But occasionally these traders will have the item, but they'll actually be charging double, just because out of coincidence they may also value the dynamic resonator as much as the terminal. So if you see a star next to the item that you want to buy, don't buy it, because it means you're being overcharged and you're not going to make any money. In fact, you're going to lose some. Now you can also obviously scroll through and have a look to see if they've got either of the other items. I'll remember their names when they crop up, if they do, but neither of them are here. So we're going to go to another ship. I think a couple have just flown off. We're going to have a look around and see if we've got any more flying in. Sometimes you'll get moments where there aren't any ships here to trade with and there aren't necessarily any flying in. So it's those moments you want to take advantage of and use that time, rather than just standing around and wasting time. You want to use that time to go and sell the ones that you do have. Now, although we've only got 2 on us, it's worth freeing up our inventory, because we've only got 9 slots, and sometimes you'll get 3 or 4 ships fly in at once and they'll all have the item that you're trying to buy. So you want to be able to fit in as many as you can. And you'll see here that we bought these 2 for 33,000 each. We're selling them for 55,000, and that's a profit of around 22,000 for each one. So 44,000, even though we only had the 1 ship to trade with, we just made 44,000 credits, maybe 45 or more actually, just from literally walking to a ship and back. Now you can imagine how this works with ships that have a higher inventory. Some of them you'll go to and they may have 4, 5, possibly 6 of the dynamic resonators in this case, or whichever item you're looking for, and you can buy all of them and then go to a second ship and top up your inventory. And of course, if you've got a suit with some upgrades so you can carry more items, then you can make even more money. But we've got another ship coming in here. Obviously you'll need to do this with a few ships to get a feel for which items they have available. Now I've done this quite a lot in this particular space station, so I know that every single ship that comes in so far has had the dynamic resonators, but very few of them have the Geknip or the other item, the name I forget the name for the other item, they very rarely have the other 2 items that I was looking for. So I know to just buy their dynamic resonators to make this go nice and quickly. I could look through all their inventory and spend time checking to see what else they have, but that would just waste time. I know that all of them have the dynamic resonator, and that's what you need to kind of learn. You'll go to the trade terminal, you'll memorize what things they're looking for, that they're paying double for, and then you'll come to some of these ships and you'll get a feel for what they regularly sell, and soon you'll find an item that is always for sale that you can sell for a nice profit, and you'll just be able to go from ship to ship without really having to waste time looking through their inventory. Of course, if that doesn't happen, then you'll need to go to a new star system, because if you don't find a regular item that's always for sale from these ships' inventories and that you can sell for a profit, then that just means that the particular star system you're in isn't going to be efficient for this method. Now there's one other thing I want to mention. When we go to the buy menu here, what you want to do ideally is buy these one at a time. Now the reason for this is because, let's say for instance there's 4 here. If we tried to buy all 4 of these and we only had, let's say, 2 slots available in our inventory, it would still charge us for all 4, but it wouldn't give us all of them. So we'd lose out on money because we don't have enough slots to put them in our inventory. So we'd end up paying for 4 and receiving 2, which obviously is not efficient. It's going to lose us more money than we're gaining. So we want to make sure that we do these one at a time, unless you're absolutely 100% sure that you have plenty of room in your inventory. But when these ships come quite quickly, you may have 3 or 4 here, you'll be running between them, you know, one at a time, and you'll fill up your inventory quite quickly. So you want to be sure that you're not accidentally paying for ones that you don't have space for. So we're going to run back one last time here, because we have a collection of 6. We have room for 3 more, but once again I'll mention that it's worth using these quiet moments when there are no ships around to offload your inventory, because although we've got space for more, if we wait for a new wave of ships, then we can buy another 3, but then we'll be full up. So we'll have to go and sell them, and by the time we get back to the docking bay, then all those other ships will likely be gone, and we'll have wasted the opportunity to buy from them. So use these quiet moments to come up and sell your stock so that you're ready for the next influx of ships. So here we are, we're going to sell these. We've got 6, and as you can see, it's making us, well, we're selling them for 334,000, and probably around 150,000 of that is profit. Now you can see in the top left my current money, which is almost at 5 million. I've literally only spent about 2 hours doing this. I made some money from farming gold, but then as soon as I found out this method, I just kept doing this for a couple of hours, and I've made almost 5 million, which is enough to buy pretty much any ship. I haven't got very far into the game yet, so it may be that ships are more expensive later on, but all the ships I've come across are sort of around 1 million to 2, maybe 3 million. So this is a great way of being able to save up and be able to buy one of those awesome ships with good stats, lots of upgrades, lots of inventory slots for when you're exploring the planets. So I hope that's been helpful, guys. I just wanted to share with you the basics of how the trading system works. I hope you can find a sort of lucky star system like I did, one with a really useful item that is easy to buy and sell and make lots of money on. So thank you for watching, guys. Stay tuned to my channel. I'm going to be covering more No Man's Sky stuff, mostly the trophies. I'm going to do a trophy guide for each of the gold trophies, which will of course cover all the trophies in the game. So in the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. I will see you in the next video.